Hello and welcome to Gadget Joe. Today we unbox and take a look at Alphacool's latest ice pump, VP755 pump. The VP755 is Alphacool's answer to the problems that existed with the previous and incredibly successful D5 pump. So with that said, let's get right into it. The box itself is a compact and solid package, with a photo of a pump on the front and the name of it on each side. Opening it up, you are presented with a small manual and then a bag containing the pump itself. Taking the pump out, you can see the major differences already from the previous D5 pump, and that is just simply the aesthetics of it. Rather than an industrial and edgy looking unit which was found in a D5, you now have a very sleek package that looks super modern and clean. The pump in general feels much better too and much more solid. The motor cover is a sturdy one-piece aluminium affair with a very fetching gunmetal grey coloration. Gun 2 has a silver top that has been replaced with a matte black finish, which looks much more appealing. The cable itself has even got a major upgrade, albeit a very simple one at that. It certainly adds that extra premium feel to it by simply putting it in a braided sleeve, which helps to hide away those awful red and blue wires we saw previously. Carrying on with the aesthetics, Alphacool threw away the blue logo on the motor cover. In fact, they did away with the sticker altogether. This time we get a laser etched logo, name and operating details on the top. These are done in a very light finish that looks subtle, but really give it that top quality feel. The logo is at the top as you see here, with the ice pump model number underneath. Below that you have technical data on it. The data here is ideal, as it literally tells you everything you need to know about the pump. So let's go into that in a little bit more detail. The motor spins at a range of 1700 to 4500 RPM, which is actually slower than a D5 which operated up to 4800. However, this ensures a quieter operation, of which Alphacool has promises a major improvement on previous models by being much more silent and efficient, yet much better on performance. The pump runs at 8 to 13 volts DC at 14 watts, which is pretty much on par with similar models for a pump of this caliber. IP32 rating means that the pump is protected from tools and wires greater than 2.5mm, which means that it can be exposed to tools, thick wires, etc. without damage and is relatively dust protected, but not completely dust tight. Also, it means that the pump is protected from water spray and drops of water, which is to be expected for this, as being too watertight and dust tight could cause heating issues. The lift height is rated at 4 meters, which means the pump is capable of pushing coolant through tubing up to 4 meters in height. This again is very clearly never going to be needed, but it's nice to have a reassurance that the pump won't struggle in a more complex and large loop. It would easily cope with pushing coolant around a full system with a large reservoir, a 480mm radiator, and CPU and GPU blocks. Starting 12 volt DC means that it requires 12 volt power to start, however it can be set to adjust to lower once operated. Last but not least, the maximum fluid temp is 65 degrees Celsius, which is reassuring as it means there is room for error. Most custom loops tend to max out around 45 degrees anyway, which is a maximum point for most coolants, so it's not really likely to be an issue. The pump itself is still compatible with all D5 pump tops from 2011 onwards, so compatibility is not an issue, which is a huge selling point that would be enough to put a lot of customers off if it was not compatible. You will notice that on the cable there is a Molex, a 3-pin and an extra 4-pin PWM connector. The Molex is for providing direct power through the PSU to the pump. The 3-pin can then be plugged into the motherboard or a fan controller, and this then enables your computer to read the pump's RPM for more precise benchmarking and recording. What's more is the 4-pin enables the pump flow rate to be controlled via pulse width modulation, or PWM for short. Having both the 3-pin and the 4-pin connected to your system then gives you complete control of the flow rate of a pump. Pump speed can also, like the D5, be controlled manually right on the pump itself using the dial we see here. With 1 being the slowest and 5 being the fastest, so don't worry too much if you don't have a 3 or 4 pin available on your motherboard or fan controller. It is also worth noting too that the pump can be controlled by both the manual and PWM control, which gives you even more fine control, and is a system patented to Alphacool. The 5 levels tend to range roughly around 1800 RPM for level 1, 2500 for level 2, 3200 for 3, 3900 for 4, and 4500 for level 5. And that pretty much wraps it up for this unboxing and overview of the VPP755 ice pump. Don't forget to subscribe to see benchmarks from testing and also a mounting tutorial very soon. Alphacool have done a fantastic job on this new pump and have created a very worthy successor to the already blisteringly popular D5. Remember that like any other Alphacool product, you can modify the cover on this by removing it from the unit itself. If you wish to order your own VPP755, I'll drop links in the description below to the aquatuning websites, plus the ModMyMods website where you can purchase them from. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and until next time, it's goodbye for now.